In Creo Parametric, if you go to the Tools tab and then the Investigate Overflow menu, at the bottom you will see a command for model size, and this command is mostly outdated and unnecessary, but for the sake of completeness, let me tell you what it does. If I click on model size, it will put a bounding box around your model, and then in the message area it tells you the length of the bounding box diagonal is a certain length, and then it also gives you the length without datums. The reason that this was used is that back in the day, something called accuracy was much more important. If I go to my file command and then prepare model properties, here you will see something called the accuracy. I will click on the change button, and the accuracy controls the smallest edge length or curve length that Creo Parametric is capable of seeing. Back in the day, the default value was relative and a value of 0.0012. This meant that Creo Parametric and Pro Engineer before it took that diagonal and multiplied it by this particular factor, and then multiplied it by another factor that depended on the general shape of the model, whether it was sort of like lumpy or potato shaped or sheet metal. No one knows what those factors are except for the people who write the code at PTC. But anyhow, this number for the accuracy times that diagonal times some other factor determined the smallest curve length that Creo Parametric was capable of seeing. Now, a couple versions ago, they changed the default accuracy from relative to absolute. Absolute is definitely recommended. If you are using millimeters, I believe the recommended accuracy is something like 0.0001 millimeters. And if you're using inches, it's like 0.00039. Hey, the default values are set up for you. Depending on your industry, you might want to use different values. But the model size command was all about trying to figure out, hey, what does that pertain to the smallest curve length that the software is capable of seeing? Let's cancel out of here and close out of there. I'm going to switch over to an assembly model, and if we try to use that command in an assembly, go to the Tools tab, Investigate, and then Model Size. Well, now it is asking us to select a model. So I could pick an individual part in the model. You get your bounding box, and it gives you the length of the diagonal with the datums considered and the length without the datum, so you can see the various different values. Let's go to the command once more, Model Size. This time I will pick the top node in the model tree, and that way I'm getting the bounding box diagonal for the entire assembly. And again, when you use this command from the interface, it's only going to give you the length of the diagonal. If you want to know the actual values for the X, Y, and Z dimensions of the bounding box, you would have to get that from Model Check. Let me go to the Model tab. In an assembly, you do have icons in the ribbon for Model Check. I am going to use Model Check Interactive, and let's choose all levels, and it's doing some computations. And it has run on all the different models. Here I'm taking a look at the results for the top level assembly. If I go to information, we have a variety of different reports in here. If I look at the model overall size, here is where it's giving me the dimensions of that bounding box for the assembly. You can expand it and you can see that just basically repeats the same information. If I go to the assembly models, then I can go to a particular assembly. So let's say I am interested in the manifold. I will click on that. Then let's expand information, and then I will scroll down in the list of the information, and here we have the model overall size, and you can see the values for its bounding box. So that's how you can get the actual X, Y, and Z as opposed to just that bounding box diagonal. But again, if you're using absolute accuracy, you really don't have to be concerned with this at all. One last thing, model size can be added to the model tree as a column. Go to the settings icon and then tree columns. In the info type, if you scroll through the list, you will find model size, then click on the add button, and then OK, and now you've got the model size for the components listed in the model tree. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more information, please visit www.creowindchill.com. If you learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be informed when new videos are uploaded. Thank you very much.